So we just replacing all the wall pads. We created a little bit of a mess. So I'm gonna go over how we clean your dojo or your academy. First thing we wanna make sure we do is we vacuum up all the dust and hair. Don't use a broom. It just pushes it into the air and falls back on your mats. Also, don't use any mechanical scrubbers or vacuums of that nature. We want to use something with just suction power to pull everything up. So I'm going to grab my shop vac and get to work. So now we're going to use a spray bucket. I would pick up the mat solution from FUJIMats.com. You don't want to be using bleach or things that you pick up from Home Depot or Lowe's. It can ruin the vinyl on the mats. Make sure you're following the proportions correctly, which we've done here. We're gonna give it a few pumps. We're gonna put a light coating on the mat just to make sure that it stays on. Okay, I like to hover it in the air with a longer beam just to let me kind of sweep it back and forth to cover a mat and a half. You don't want to drown the mats. You want to just make sure it touches the surface area after you grab your mop. So I'm going to spray this whole mat down and then we'll mop it up and be done. So now we got our mega mop here from FUJI Mats. We're gonna use this to mop the mat. One thing that I like to do ahead of time is actually spray the mop head. I think it just makes me feel a little bit better that the mop head's a little damp, you know, as we're about to mop the mat. It's not a mandatory thing. It makes me feel better. Nobody wants staph. So now we're just gonna kind of run this mop head, pressure down on the mat, making sure we're pushing down firmly to get the whole mat covered. I do one mat per sweep, all the way down the mat, making sure that mop head kind of overlaps in some areas. Coming back through. And we're done. So now we got some fresh, clean mats for training tonight.